6 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Sometimes I use the post office over at the school across the street at the College of Central Florida. And quite frequently, actually, I see people in uniforms coming out. So you must have some kind of program over there for first responders and criminal justice programs, et cetera. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Mike Fallon is in the studio. I don't think he's been in Marion County for a while because we've seen him on Facebook on all over the world, literally all over the world. And today we're going to introduce your guests one at a time. So good morning, Mike. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Did you drink the water anywhere you went?
Oh, I always drink the water.
Even in Flint?
Oh, well, I haven't been there.
Flint, yeah.
That's not on the list, really.
Yeah, you don't want to go to Flint.
Mike Fallon with Webster University.
I'm Crystal Flynn with University of Central
Crystal,
Florida.
your hair looks beautiful, by the way.
Thank you very much. The Ocala Regional Campus.
Charles McIntosh, College of Central Florida.
Good morning, Charles.
Good morning.
Kat Kelly with the Criminal Justice Institute at the College of Central Florida.
What is your first name again?
Kat, opposite of dog.
Kat. Okay, Kat. Nice to meet you, Kat.
And Antron McCullough, St. Leo University at the Ocala campus.
Say your name again, Anthony?
Antron.
Antron.
Like
okay.
Megatron.
Like Megatron.
Yes.
Oh, the kids love that, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you all for coming in today. And is everybody with the criminal justice and the first responder programs?
Kind of, sort of.
For the most part.
Kind of, sort of?
We
Okay.
We
really,
represent students that can
Okay.
access those
exactly.
programs.
So in Ocala, there are lots of programs for those that want to go into a criminal justice, first responder type field. And typically they would start off at the College of Central Florida. So we wanted them to talk about, coming out of high school or maybe never going to college, starting from scratch, and what kind of programs are offered and how you can transition to continue your education.
Yeah, usually at the College of Central Florida, our students that we get, they take one of two routes coming directly from high school. A lot of them come directly into our AS and criminal justice program, which is, of course, 60 credits of technical coursework along with the mandated state requirements, English, math, and, courses of that nature. And then we have those who decide they want to go directly into the profession. And for those, we offer our basic corrections and law enforcement academies, which are 420 and 770 hours.
Is that right?
Respectively. Yes, sir. Corrections being 420 and law enforcement being 770.
Now, when I was much younger, I actually applied for a security guard job, and this was down in Orlando. And there was a course if I wanted to be an armed security guard, but if I wanted to just be like the mall guy, I don't think they have guns here, do they?
No, sir.
But if you were unarmed, you could just step right into the job, basically. Is that's still the case? Years have passed since then, but...
No, sir. We actually offer that course also. We call it's pretty much a basic security course. It depends on what class you're in, whether or not you're going to be armed. We offer the Class D, which is going to be an unarmed.
Oh, is that right? And you get paid more if you're armed? Is that right?
Pretty much depends on which company you work for. You'll probably get paid a little more.
Okay.
But we do at this time we don't offer the armed training.
And does your knowledge of the law play an important role in the criminal justice courses? Like, do you need to know the law? In other words, are you like a mini lawyer in a way?
Graduating from Corrections or Law Enforcement Academy, you're going to know the basic rules and the laws that apply to the duties you're going to be performing. But, upon graduation, you'll still need to dig into the Florida statutes and keep yourself abreast of what's changing because laws, of course, they change every year, with different legislations.
And I don't know who wants to answer this, but is it the same for the juvenile? If you're working with juveniles, is that different? Like there's a juvenile detention center here in Ocala.
And that would be more on the correction side, correct?
Okay.
Yeah, so that would be more on like a corrections officer side. And I'm sure there are requirements there and something that probably an advisor would have to know because it would probably be something that has to be fulfilled before they can go into that job role.
But for example, it does play a big part, which, in answer to your question, in our law enforcement academies, they take 64 hours of legal, and we have our area state's attorneys, and attorneys will come in and the best instructors, and they come in and they train these kids in 64 hours. So it's a large component of their
64
training.
64 hours?
64 hours
Wow.
of legal
That
in
seems,
the law enforcement.
Is that long, or that seems pretty quick? No.
Well,
For
out of the
students, that's a
700,
long time.
out of the 770 hours, a lot of them would much rather be doing the driving and the firearms and the defensive tactics.
okay.
But it's a long time in the seats. But it's not quite 10% of their whole time there with us.
Okay, so I would think that you would want them to have a little bit of that understanding.
Oh, exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And when they move on, if they choose to move on from the state college level to go to a university to earn a bachelor's or a master's degree, that's where they can learn additional related skills and topics so they can go into criminal justice if that's where they want to focus. That could put them on track to work for agencies. They can build upon what they're getting from the academies and the degrees they're getting from an institution like College of Central Florida. And then at our university, UCF or at St. Leo, they could then do that next step that's going to take them into bachelor's degrees, master's degrees. We have tracks where the folks that earn an AS degree can transition into an articulated program. They could also kind of switch majors and study forensics. We even have a new minor that's intelligence and national security. So if they wanted to specialize in a particular
really?
place,
Oh,
they
wow.
could continue their education, add that to on-the-job training, and then they could move into those more specialized areas.
Oh wow! So that that implies the FBI and all the other agencies as well. So okay. Oh wow.
But they're all going to start in a program like what CF has.
Okay. And what about first responders? That would be more like the ambulance people and the fire department people.
How do we classify
Well, we
first
group
responders?
we group pretty much all of them. At the College of Central Florida, we group them all as.
Oh,
you
okay.
know,
Okay. So
all
first responders
firefighter,
includes police officers.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I didn't
EMT,
realize.
paramedics, police officers.
Are they all taking the same classes though? So those who want to be
Take
EMTs?
some
No,
foundation classes that are
Yeah, the
common.
College of Central Florida offers an EMT program. They also offer a paramedic program, so over in the health sciences section. So, and as Dean McIntosh said, we're all considered fire, police, and medical response are all considered first responders, but we do have specific programs at the College of Central Florida.
Mike, I didn't ask you before we started, so forgive me for asking on the air, but do you want to take phone calls?
No, we're not going to take phone
We
calls.
do not
today.
take phone calls. Okay. If you're calling in, we're not taking phone calls. I apologize for that. We'll take a little break though, and when we come back, we'll continue our conversation. We're talking about higher education happenings. Mike Fallon is here as your host, and we're hearing from. Kat, are you from St. Leo?
No, I'm from the College of Central Florida.
Oh, you're from across the street also? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who's from St. Leo?
I'm from St.
You're
Leo,
from St.
but
Leo.
we're
Okay.
actually on the College of Central Florida's campus.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, we'll take a little break and we'll be right back. This is WLCA.
The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Safe boating is no accident. Partly to mostly sunny today, breezy and cooler. A high of 56 to 61. Some clouds tonight, a low of 40 to 54. Then clouds and sun with rain arriving late in the afternoon tomorrow. The high 61 to 69. Breezy and cooler with clouds and sunshine for Sunday. The high 57 to 60. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Maggie Johnson.
The College of Central Florida is committed to being your first choice for quality higher education. CF has locations in Marion, Citrus, and Levy counties and offers more than 60 academic programs. Earn a certificate, associate, or bachelor's degree. With Florida's 2+2 program, a student can complete an associate in arts at CF and be guaranteed admission to a state of Florida university. CF is ranked number 13 in the U.S. for affordability, is military friendly, and offers a full student life experience. Make CF your first choice. Call 352-873-5800. Claim your future with a highly respected degree from St. Leo University. Ranked among the best colleges by U.S. News & World Report, St. Leo University is a proven leader in bachelor's and master's degrees designed for working adults. Classes are forming now at our convenient Ocala Education Center located at the College of Central Florida, and there is still time to enroll. For more information, contact an academic advisor today by calling 352-671-3391 or visit stleo.edu/Ocala. St. Leo University, what you need for where you're going. Looking to put your money to work? Florida Credit Union has 3 CD specials: 12 months for 1.05% APY, 24 months for 1.50% APY, and 36 months for 1.75% APY each with a $10,000 minimum. Federally insured by the NCUA. APY equals annual percentage yield. These rates effective through February 28, 2016, subject to change at any time. Visit one of Florida Credit Union's convenient locations today or their website at flcu.org.
Find forests of fun, make mountains of memories, discover your room with a view at the Ocala RV Show. North Central Florida's largest RV show is February 4th through 7th at the Florida Horse Park. Tour hundreds of RVs, local dealers competing for your business. Register to win a $100 gas card every day. No purchase necessary. Thursday through Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 10 to 4. Adults $5, kids under 16 free. Buy one, get one free Thursday. And military, active, or retired save $2 every day. The Ocala RV Show.
With a graduate degree in management and leadership from Webster University, there'll never be a better time for you to explore what's next in your career. Classes are scheduled so you can continue your normal workday routine, and the accelerated program means a new term starts about every 10 weeks. If you're looking to gain a broad general management and leadership perspective, then Webster University's Management and Leadership degree program is the right one for you. It's all a part of what's next at Webster University.
Go to webster.edu/manage, accredited by ACBSP.
Do you live in Leesburg, Ocala, or Claremont? Are you interested in teaching, nursing, or business? If so, the University of Central Florida offers you more than a dozen programs that fit your schedule and your budget. You can take classes online or in a classroom or both. You can get ahead in your career and you can do it right in your own neighborhood. UCF has 10 locations near you. Find out more at regionalcampuses.ucf.edu. All right, 17 minutes after 11 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. Mike Fallon is here. This is Higher Education Happenings. We're learning about learning, and specifically from the different schools represented here in Ocala, either across the street on the campus of the College of Central Florida, which has several universities represented. And today in the studio, let's see, we got St. Leo represented, the College of Central Florida, University of Central Florida. And Mike, which one are you with again?
Webster
you're with
University.
Webster. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. How could I forget that? Well, because you were away from home for so long.
Yeah, you never know where.
You're the prodigal educator.
Right, exactly.
So, Antron, we haven't heard from you yet. I think your fans were calling you, said.
Oh, maybe, possibly. So one of the things with when you're talking about first responders, you also have to think about, like terrorist attacks, cybersecurity attacks,
oh my goodness,
natural disasters and things like that, right? So some of the programs that we offer here at St. Leo University are Human Services program. And with the Human Services program, there's a ton of different things that you can actually do with that degree because it's very, very versatile. Actually, we have coming up on Tuesday, February 16th, as well as February 23rd from 5:15 to 9:45. We're having a youth mental health first aid training that's going to be sponsored by our Human Services Department.
Wow.
We also have the criminal justice piece. So with criminal justice, it's just not necessarily being, a firefighter or a police officer. You can also, with us, you can work with Homeland Security. You can work with cybersecurity. There's many different fields that you can actually go into, and I think UCF has something similar to that as well.
We do. We offer a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. We have programs in forensics and a couple of other fields, that new minor that I mentioned earlier. And these are all great options for folks who perhaps are already professionals and they need to add those extra layers of education or further their degrees to advance within their field become more specialized. And our master's in criminal justice is actually tracked for careers, and it can be completed part-time online. So that's really great in flexibility.
Okay, yeah.
So if you have folks who are currently working in the field or want to transition to that field, they can work on their education while they're still working, and then continue to build those layers. And for folks who are in the field and want to add some extra certification, Kat can talk more about what they can do at CF for that.
Well, what we do is in addition to our academies and our associate's degrees, we also have post-certification classes through the Criminal Justice Institute. We offer anything from an 8-hour day to typically we're running 40 hours, but sometimes they're up to 80 hours, where officers who are currently working in the community can come back and take in classes that are incentive in nature, which will increase their skills. Things like narcotics investigation, interviewing, interrogation, those types of things. And so they come back to College of Central Florida. We see them throughout their careers, and it helps them in terms of promotional abilities to gain different skills as well.
Antron, when you were talking about the mental health part for youth, there was this very sad story 2 nights ago, I guess it was. I think it was like 30-something-year-old guy. He was in a parking lot, and he had a couple of guns, and I guess he had one to his head and had another one. And I guess you heard the story, right? And the police officer showed up. they tried to talk to him out of trying to kill himself, and then he shot them, and they had to shoot him, and he ended up dying. I mean, he's not a kid. He's 30-something years old, but clearly something was going on, and the mental health skills have to play an important role, because I'm guessing there are more stories that we don't hear about because they don't follow through with those threats, right?
Absolutely. And I mean, with the programs that we offer, and also with this mental health training that we're going to be doing on the 16th and 23rd, one of the things is actually, figuring out the ins and out of crisis. So before the crisis happens, after the crisis happens, what signs to look for, are there certain addictions and stuff, to look for. So we're doing that piece as well.
So, Kat, when you teach self-defense?
I do. I teach defensive tactics in addition to my duties as coordinating at the police academy.
And does that must include psychological chatter? I mean, you must have to talk to the...
There is, and it's interesting when you're talking about the incident the other night. We also hold a hostage negotiation course. We teach a stress awareness course.
Wow.
And those post-certification courses, and it was a very unfortunate incident the other night, and unfortunately we have suicide by cop happens in this country a lot, and our agencies all do a great job in getting police officers that are trained in hostage negotiation as well as crisis intervention officers, and that's just all part of it. There's so many parts to this wheel, and together all of us do a good job getting these officers trained.
And I think it's important to mention too, when we train them over at the college, a large part of that academy training, it has to do with de-escalation, and situations, as you mentioned, the first resort is, you go back to your training, and de-escalation was a huge part of that. And we like to focus on that at the College of Central Florida.
Does it kick in, automatically? Does that training come in?
When
right. I mean, anything you do repetitively, in a situation like that, your body automatically goes back to it.
Wow.
So really, no matter which area you want to go into, there's something that you can pick up locally in the fields.
It's amazing, really. I mean, we need what you offer. I mentioned during the break that I have a nephew who is a veteran. He served in Afghanistan, and now he's with the Marion County Fire Rescue. Mm-hmm. So talk about a little bit about that transition for those listening who haven't made that decision yet. Maybe they are vets, and they've thought about it, because it sounds like something that is easy to come to mind.
Mm-hmm. Each institution that's here has representatives on site that are specifically trained to work with veterans and work with their special benefits regarding covering educational costs, because veterans are they have access to certain monies that can be used for school. There's time frames they have to keep up with. So we each have groups that can support them, and we also have a lot of choices in career fields that they could study that could play off of what their experience was professionally when they were working in the service. So if they were working in policing, that's a great transition through some of the programs that we all have. And if they wanted to switch and use that as a foundation and go into something else, they could do that. And you also mentioned someone who is a firefighter. They could certainly start at CF and become a EMT and paramedic, and then go to fire college. They could also do forensics with us or another university. So they can kind of build those components and create that educational path that fits exactly that career that they want.
And the cost for that schooling, does any of it get paid by any veterans benefits?
I think all of us have veteran scholarships that, or certain ways that veterans, and I think some of the institutions even have special discounts for first responders.
Mm-hmm. I believe for us it's a 10% discount at St. Leo University. We actually have a lot of veterans that come to our school. We're one of the leading universities when it actually comes to veterans. We have and we have different ways for them to actually be able to take classes as well as the working adult. But being able to do online, or if they're out in the field, out in another country, being able to have that in-ground aspect of they're back here and back based home. So
yes, and we also offer a great first responder discount. It even goes all the way to corrections officers. So pretty much anyone in that spectrum of careers can get a little bit extra help with their tuition, which is great, because they're doing us. They're so great in our community, and they're really assets. So we need to take care of them.
Does it go to the person who works behind the desk as well, or is it the same Now that you're working for the police department, but you're never going to be on the street with a gun.
Yeah, even 911 officers, or that are just answering the phone calls.
Oh,
a lot of
okay,
times they're
okay.
even eligible. So yes, to your answer, yes. Sometimes it's a case-by-case basis depending on exactly what they do. But we try to make sure that if they're part of the team, they're going to get some kind
That's
of...
got to be a tougher job than I could ever imagine, that 911 job. Can you imagine those calls?
Oh.
But if they're a state employee, they can also utilize state waivers at state institution as well. So there's also that mechanism that they could utilize to pay for continuing education.
And all the jobs that this education leads to, or am I wrong about this? Yeah, I think I'm wrong. All of them lead to the public sector, right? You're all going to work for the city or the county or the state, or
You could
or
certainly
the
apply
federal
that to the
government?
private sector as well.
Right. I mean, it even in our law enforcement and corrections academy, some go out, and work in the local field. Our agencies here around Marion County and our connecting counties, but others go, as stated, to other agencies, out in other fields other than traditional law enforcement. So the training is not limited to just riding in a squad car, or, watching inmates behind the fence.
And we should mention that we'll have representatives from all of the colleges that are here today at the College of Central Florida's preview night. And that is Thursday, February 25th from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And that's at the Klein Center, which is attached to that nice, beautiful, big, round glass building at the front of the College of Central Florida. So we can also continue this conversation, and we'll have representatives from all the programs or general representatives that can help them kind of direct them in the right career path, whether they're right out of high school or a non-traditional student.
So it's Thursday the 25th at 5:30?
5:30 p.m. And that runs till 7:30 p.m. at the Klein Center at the College of Central Florida.
And there's companion events at the Levy and Citrus College of Central Florida campuses the first week of March.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if they're out in
if you're over there.
in Levy or
Yep.
Citrus, they can also attend those events.
That information is available on the College of Central Florida's website.
And for those who want to take these courses who are not veterans, I kind of focused on them for a moment, but for those folks, there are opportunities to, it sounds like it, with as far as help with the scholarships, et cetera?
Yes, there's always financial aid available to those who qualify, and there are other opportunities too. So we talked about scholarships. Go ahead, Kat.
And the College of Central Florida has quite a few scholarships to help these kids come and realize their dreams. And we just built a law enforcement officer memorial wall at the Criminal Justice Institute.
You did?
Where we're going to be, it has a flagpole and a wall, and officers that have come through our academy who have lost their lives in the line of duty.
Oh my goodness.
And we're going to be unveiling that this spring, but we're going to be selling bricks to the community members and the business owners to
help support
support
it.
a scholarship to support the students coming. Because we support them all, veterans and kids coming right out of high school. As long as they enter the program, as long as they when they graduate, they're 19 years old, they can come to the police academy.
Wow. Any of you ever police officers? Did you ever?
Yes, myself, I have 18 years of, 15 years experience correction, 3 years experience in law enforcement prior to coming to the College of Central Florida.
And that's significant. He is a great dean because he has the all-around holistic approach. He worked in corrections as well as law enforcement, and he continues to be a reserve officer with the Ocala Police Department. So it's really cool to have a dean that's got all of the view of criminal justice.
Great community service.
And I spent 32 years with a state agency before retiring.
You did?
And coming there, yes.
Oh my gosh, you don't look old enough to have had that many years.
Oh, I appreciate it, but yeah, I'm that old. I'm that old.
Oh, nice.
Oh gosh, as always, it ends too quickly. Mike, good to see you.
Nice to
I'm
see you
glad
too.
you got back safely.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I love that story about the tattoos. That was great. Antron, thank you for coming in. Kat, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Do I have Charles?
Thank you.
Crystal, of course. Thank you, and Mike. Thank you all for coming in.
Thank you for having
Thank
us.
you.
The recording we just made will be up by 2:00 this afternoon. Okay.
Thank you very much.
We'll be right back.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. Bernie Sanders closing in on Hillary Clinton in the latest Quinnipiac poll, 42% to her 44%. The two Democrats faced off last night.
Sanders slammed Clinton on her ties to Wall Street money and her vote to authorize the Iraq war.
Fox Radio's Bill Marcus. Clinton in the debate calling some of Sanders' accusations part of a smear campaign. The search for a Missouri couple on the run since Sunday, ending in a shootout.
Blake Fitzgerald and Brittany Harper had been leading police across states, holding up stores and causing all sorts of mayhem. Fitzgerald was killed in a shootout with police near Pensacola, Florida. Harper was wounded. The two had just abducted a shoe store clerk from Birmingham, Alabama.
Fox Radio's Evan Brown. And a top Brazilian health official says scientists have discovered the presence of active Zika virus in urine and saliva samples. Fox News, we report. You decide.
Hey, Joan, which mulch is best for my landscaping?
Well, Tim, a lot depends on the look you want, but any of the quality mulch that Ace carries will help hold moisture and control weeds around your plants and trees.
Ace is the place to find the right mulch, and we're starting the season by offering great brands at an even better price. 5 bags for $10. Choose from 2 cubic foot bags of Jolly Gardener Red Mulch or No Float Cypress Mulch.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Offer valid February 3rd through February 8th at participating stores. Store stock only. See store for details.
Without automatic cloud backup, everything on your computer is at risk. From hackers, viruses, natural disasters, or even the occasional human error. Few things are as bad for business as downtime. So why take the risk? Get Carbonite Cloud Backup and protect all the files that keep your business or your home running smoothly. Start your free trial today at Carbonite.com.